All rise. The Commission on Judicial Appointments is now in session. The Honorable Patricia Guerrero presiding. You may be seated.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the public hearing of the Commission on Judicial Appointments. This is going to be a bit repetitive for those who were here before, but as Chief Justice of California, I serve as chair of the commission. The other members of the commission are Attorney General Rob Bonta, who is appearing remotely, and Presiding Justice Arthur Gilbert. And Janelle Baker serves as secretary to the commission. This hearing is to consider Governor Gavin Newsom's appointment of Judge Michelle C. Kim to the office of Associate Justice for the 2nd District Court of Appeal, Division 1. The commission is in receipt of a letter from Governor Newsom appointing Judge Kim to fill a vacancy created by the retirement of Justice Victoria D. Cheney. The state constitution specifies that the appointment by the governor to the Court of Appeal is effective when confirmed by the Commission on Judicial Appointments. The commission received correspondence pertaining to this appointment, and we made these letters available to the press and to the public a few days ago. Pursuant to a request by Governor Newsom, the State Bar's Commission on Judicial Nominees Evaluation has undertaken an evaluation of the qualifications of Judge Kim for this position. Ms. Chaya Malik, the chair of the commission, is present to share the results of the evaluation later in these proceedings. Judge Kim has asked the following persons to be called to testify on her behalf. I will list all of you now and then call on each speaker separately to come to the podium. We welcome first the Honorable Karen Joynt, who's a judge with Superior Court of California for the County of Los Angeles. We welcome the Honorable Helen Zukin, Associate Justice with the 2nd District Court of Appeal, Division 4. And we welcome Ms. Anna Matosantos, who is a friend of Judge Kim. We now invite Judge Joynt to the podium.
Good afternoon, Chief Justice Guerrero, Attorney General Bonta, and Senior Presiding Justice Gilbert. It is my sincere honor and privilege to speak before you today in support of the confirmation of Judge Michelle Kim to serve on the California Court of Appeals, 2nd District, Division 1. Judge Kim and I began together as new attorneys in the Los Angeles County Public Defender's Office about 20 years ago. We were idealistic and green and dogged. We worked late into the night on our way too many cases, trying diligently to get everything right for each and every client. We often left work in darkness to an otherwise empty parking lot. I observed Judge Kim work tirelessly studying the law, meeting with senior attorneys for their lessons and advice, and discussing ideas and strategies with our young team. I continued to work with Judge Kim for many years at various offices and assignments as we both grew in our knowledge and position. She was and is incredibly intelligent, but she was also sharp, capable of identifying and distilling issues, even complex issues, to their core. And because she was so hardworking, she would execute a plan to resolve these issues in a manner that served her clients and the community well. Always cognizant of the difficult and complex situations which brought her clients to the justice system, she was charming and patient, graceful and understanding, but also persistent and savvy. She has a bright smile and a warm laugh that sets people at ease. It was apparent that judges and prosecutors enjoyed working with her, trusted her, and respected her greatly. To the surprise of no one, she was ultimately promoted into leadership positions. There, I observed her hard work continue. With this added responsibility, she demonstrated a commitment to the next generation of attorneys. She taught what she had learned, was always available to help, and created a fair and inclusive environment. I also saw her hold her attorneys to her high standards of competence and advocacy. She was eminently qualified to be a Superior Court judge and has served our court with humility and excellence. We, the people of California, are so fortunate that she has chosen to serve this way. But she is not done. And so it is my privilege to urge the confirmation of her nomination to the 2nd District Court of Appeal. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak. It has been a true honor.
Thank you so much for your careful and very helpful comments for the commission. We appreciate that. We next invite to the podium Justice Zukin.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Chief Justice Guerrero. Good afternoon, Attorney General Bonta. And good afternoon, Justice Gilbert. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again.
Up there. I
I
haven't
think
forgotten.
it was a few minutes ago that I last saw you.
I have not forgotten the hardball questions you asked at my hearing. All right. It is really a great pleasure and privilege to speak in support of Judge Michelle Kim for the position of Associate Justice, Division 1, that's correct, 2nd District Court of Appeal. Now, Judge Kim and I share the same judicial birthday. We were both appointed to the bench on the same day, and I have a pretty good sense of what her inbox and texts looked like at noon on June 8th, maybe June 8th, 2018. We didn't know each other then, but we got to know each other very soon, both in all of the training that we did, both at New Judges Orientation and then at Judicial College, where we spent what seems like a lot of time walking back and forth to Whole Foods together, getting to know each other. But we've really gotten to know each other well, how we think, how we feel about important issues and the law, because since 2019, we have both served on Governor Newsom's Los Angeles JSAC, and she currently serves as vice chair where I serve as chair. So we are in frequent communication. Judge Kim is extremely smart. And as presiding Judge Jessner has said, and I'm going to quote her, she has a fierce work ethic and possesses a formidable legal mind. She really does. She also has high social intelligence, understands people, cares deeply about people, and is an excellent listener. And also very important for the position under consideration today, she is the consummate team player. She does not need to be the smartest person in the room, though I suspect she often is the smartest person in the room. She advances her positions without any condescension or rancor, and really knows how to move a group to consensus. She came to the bench, as you heard, with extensive criminal law and trial experience, which she brought to her first assignment in criminal law, where she very quickly was identified as a leader and was given early leadership opportunities. But she did something some people don't do, which is at some point she requested to be transferred to the civil division so that she could broaden her scope of knowledge and challenge herself. She was assigned to what we call the Personal Injury Hub, the PI Hub, at a time where she had in her docket 5,000 cases. And she managed that docket adeptly, and she handled approximately 15 motions a day, many of them dispositive motions. She was seen by her colleagues to be a very quick study, learned very fast civil, substantive, and procedural law. She was a team player, and she was once again identified as a leader, and of course has an excellent, calm demeanor. She was this last year transferred to an independent calendar civil court where she handles, I would say, I don't know exactly, approximately 800 cases. Is that about right? Yes. And she has earned very quickly, and that's from filing through verdict, and she very quickly earned a really good reputation and the respect of the civil bar, not only for her calm demeanor, but her commitment to the cases and that fierce work ethic, always prepared. So, in addition to her now wide range of judicial experience, Judge Kim has been tapped by court leadership over and over again for important leadership roles on very significant court committees, some of them very innovative, like the innovative work the court is doing with the Rand Corporation, where I hear she is making very important contributions to those committees. So, I have to say that she has an excellent attention for detail. She knows how to count a committee vote much better than I do in a meeting, and I appreciate that. Thank you for that, always getting it right when I get it wrong. But front of mind for Judge Kim is always fairness, equity, inclusion, the very important issues that we all are trying to advance at this time. So, what can I tell you about Judge Kim that the various vetting committees have not unearthed? What has the Jenny Commission not reported? Well, here's one thing. I think I should throw it out there. Judge Kim knows how to throw an amazing hotel room birthday party. When we were at Judicial College, her husband and daughters, Eliza and Nora, is it Nora, were there, but not with us, but they were nearby. But it was Eliza's birthday. And what Judge Kim did, showing her creativity of thought and problem-solving skills, she threw a fantastic party in the hotel room with a treasure hunt, decorations, activities, and I hear that it is being requested over and over again by family and friends. So if things go well today, I think that her hopefully new division will have a lot of fun. But, you know, we were limited to 3 to 5 minutes here today by Judge Kim. So there's so much more that can be said about her. She's an excellent writer. She's really good at research. She writes concisely, clearly, and she has the best demeanor, easy to work with. So I would say that she's highly suited for the position she's being considered for. But I close with this. She is kind. She's a pleasure to work with, always stepping in when needed, works very quickly, as you already heard. But she keeps at the top of her mind those values of empathy, compassion, and the goal of doing justice. So I'm happy to answer any questions you may have about Judge Kim.
Thank you, Justice Zukin, for your thoughtful comments here today.
No question.
No questions.
Thank you.
Next, invite to the podium, Ms. Matosantos.
Good afternoon, Chief Justice Guerrero, Attorney General Bonta, and Presiding Justice Gilbert. It is an honor to be before you today to urge your confirmation of Michelle Kim as Associate Justice of the 2nd District Court of Appeal, Division 1. Michelle is brilliant, curious, courageous, and deeply committed to justice. She's a clear thinker, an excellent writer, and an incredibly hard worker. But those traits and the fact that she is eminently qualified are not what makes it a distinct privilege to stand for her today. The amazing human she is and the way she serves and leads is what makes it so. I have had the privilege to serve the people of California under 3 governors, most recently as Governor Newsom's cabinet secretary. In those roles, I have had the good fortune to come across exceptional people, to be humbled by the talent in public ranks. Michelle stands out amongst those incredible people. And I have the honor of, that I have had the honor of knowing, and she is just a stellar person. I'm so lucky to be her friend. I'm sure she was not particularly excited when we accidentally crashed her honeymoon. We were what felt like the only 6 people walking along the Sydney Harbor very early in the morning on our first day there. Michelle rolled with it, as only she does. We all went on a long, purposeful walk, and the rest is history. I could speak about her kindness, compassion, inquisitiveness, patience, clarity, and resolve for hours, but she would not be pleased as she doesn't like praise, and she was very clear about our time limit. Thus, I'll do my best to be persuasive and brief. First, I would like to speak to Michelle's curiosity and courage. As a high school student, Michelle's interest was piqued by a flyer about an archaeological dig in Africa. With her mom, Jenny's blessing, she did the work to make it happen and traveled across the world by herself to work for weeks in a dig outside Accra, Ghana. And that was not her only solo overseas experience as a high schooler. She studied in Japan for a semester. And here I thought, it was a big deal that I got to go to college 5,500 miles away from where I grew up. Yet at an earlier age, Michelle had already pursued opportunities in 3 different continents, persisted and thrived despite adversities and the heartbreaking loss of her dad, Francis, when she was far too young. Second, as you already heard, Michelle is a talented and committed public servant. Since her days at the Asian Pacific American Legal Center and UCLA, to her time as a public defender and most recently as a judge, Michelle's career has been all about service. As a PD, her commitment to her clients was second to none, and she worked tirelessly to ensure their rights were respected. As a judge, she has continued her commitment to fairness, never hesitated to take on new challenges, and served the judiciary from both inside and outside the courtroom. While being a lifelong public servant, Michelle has also consistently served her community as a volunteer and board members at bar associations and service organizations, including the Organization of Chinese Americans and nonprofits serving people living with HIV and AIDS. As a friend, Michelle always goes the extra mile. A few years ago, a dear friend of mine was testifying about the most painful of experiences in a very high-profile case. I offered to attend the trial to support her without knowing exactly what that entailed or having a real plan to make it happen. Luckily for me, Michelle is my friend, and as she usually does, she came to the rescue, found out exactly where the trial was being held, where I needed to be, when I needed to be there, gave me a ride to and from, and even brought me to the hearing room. At the end of the first day, I sheepishly confessed to not having had lunch because I didn't want to risk not getting back into the courtroom. The following morning, I became an honorary 3rd kid in the Kim household. Michelle picked me up to drive me to the courthouse with a bag full of healthy snacks for the day, so I made sure to eat. That is Michelle, always thoughtful, always with a plan, and always taking care of those around her, all while being a superb judge and an awesome mom. This takes me to my last point. While Michelle's contributions to public service are and will continue to be considerable, perhaps her greatest contributions to a better future are the 2 strong, curious, funny, and smart beings that she and Daniel are raising. It is a joy to be witness to the young women Eliza and Nora are becoming. Like their mom, they are creative, courageous, inquisitive, and most importantly, kind. They rise to the occasion, embracing diverse opportunities, be they music, learning, languages, school, or public speaking. I know they will grow up into fabulous beings, forces of nature, who will work hard to make the world a better place. I close with gratitude to my friend Michelle, not only for being the one who carries us, as she did when she remembered the critical 9/5 portion of the Celsius to Fahrenheit conversion, but for dedicating her smarts, her grit, and her heart to a stronger, better, more equitable California. I am grateful for Jenny, as her love and support of Michelle were and are essential to the woman she is today. I am grateful to Daniel and to the girls for making Michelle laugh, keeping her on her toes, and keeping her heart full. Public service is a family affair, and their love and support is essential to Michelle serving as she does. Lastly, I am grateful to you for your time and thoughtful consideration of this stellar candidate.
Thank you so much for the wonderful portrait of your friend. We appreciate it. Thank you. The commission now invites the chair of the Judicial Nominees Evaluation Commission, Ms. Malik, for the report of the evaluation that was conducted by your commission.
Thank you, Chief Justice Guerrero, Presiding Justice Gilbert, and Attorney General Bonta. It's a pretty extraordinary experience following 3 wonderful women as witnesses of support to speak about Judge Kim in front of her lovely family, including her 2 daughters. I am honored as chair of the Jenny Commission to present this report on behalf of the commission. To summarize the basis of the commission's rating of Judge Michelle Kim for the Office of Associate Justice for the Court of Appeal, 2nd Appellate District, Division 1. The Jenny Commission conducted its evaluation of Judge Kim in August of 2022 unanimously, finding her to be exceptionally well qualified for service on the 2nd District Court of Appeal. According to the commission rules, that rating reflects the commission's determination that Judge Kim possesses qualities and attributes of remarkable or extraordinary superiority that enable her to perform the appellate judicial function with distinction and is exceptionally well qualified for the appellate court. Judge Michelle Kim has been serving on the Los Angeles County Superior Court since 2018, presiding over misdemeanor criminal cases, including pretrial, jury trials, and post-conviction matters. An accomplished jurist dedicated to public service, she has consistently demonstrated excellence throughout her career. Growing up in a middle-class community in the West San Fernando Valley, Judge Kim learned the values of hard work and self-sacrifice from her Chinese immigrant parents. A pivotal moment in her childhood was her father's battle with kidney disease and his untimely death at 44 from AIDS, contracted through a tainted blood transfusion. While this tragedy had a devastating impact on her family, it also shaped her lifelong goals and values, deepening her understanding of the structural injustices faced by marginalized communities, including those affected by the AIDS epidemic. Her own experiences with anti-Asian prejudice further cultivated her empathy, a quality she considers essential for a judge and a guiding principle in her endeavors. Judge Kim earned a BA in American Studies with an emphasis on race and ethnicity from Stanford University in 1995. That same year, she enrolled in the Asian American Studies MA program in UCLA, where a course on Asian Americans and the law inspired her to pursue a legal career as a means to fight injustice. She graduated from UCLA School of Law in 2002. Her legal career began with the Los Angeles County Public Defender's Office, where she worked from 2003 to 2005. She then joined the Los Angeles County Alternate Public Defender's Office, quickly rising through the ranks to become head deputy during her 13-year tenure. The commission's investigation revealed that she earned the respect and admiration of colleagues, opposing counsel, court officials, and bench officers throughout her time as public defender. Appointed to the Los Angeles Superior Court in June 2018, Judge Kim has embraced numerous leadership roles within the criminal division. She's held positions as the site judge of the East Los Angeles Courthouse, assistant supervising judge at the Clara Shortridge Foltz Criminal Justice Center, and assistant supervising judge of criminal traffic and site judge of the Metropolitan Courthouse. In 2022, Judge Kim spent 4 months as Justice Pro Tem of the 2nd District Court of Appeal, Division 3, where she presided over appellate cases and engaged in discussions extending beyond her primary expertise in criminal law. Notably, she effectively participated in complex dependency cases involving the Indian Child Welfare Act, demonstrating her ability to navigate unsettled law and craft majority opinions even in challenging circumstances. Beyond her judicial responsibilities, Judge Kim is actively involved in various professional associations. Since her elevation to the bench, she served on the Regional Judicial Selection Advisory Committee with Justice Zukin, the statewide Criminal Justice Art Criminal Law Committee, and several committees within the Los Angeles Superior Court. Her volunteer efforts include board memberships with several Asian American advocacy groups and community organizations. The Commission's investigation found Judge Kim to be widely regarded as poised, sincere, and thoughtful. She remains humble about her professional achievements while being candid about the challenges she has faced. Her strong values and moral convictions resonate deeply with those who know her. Colleagues commend her skill as a jurist, her dedication, and her collaborative demeanor. Her exemplary judicial temperament reflects the respect and empathy she extends to all parties in her courtroom and her unwavering commitment to her professional responsibilities. The Commission believes Judge Kim is exceptionally well qualified to serve as Associate Justice of the 2nd District Court of Appeal, Division I, should she be confirmed. Thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Ms. Melick, for your report and for the work of your commission, which we always appreciate. We now invite Judge Kim to present a statement, if you wish, and to answer any questions the commission may have.
Thank you, Chief Justice Guerrero, Presiding Justice Gilbert, and Attorney General Bonta. Good afternoon. I am honored and humbled to be here today. I appreciate the opportunity to briefly publicly thank the people that have made today's hearing possible, and then I'll submit on the testimony. Thank you to Governor Newsom for this nomination. Thank you to Secretary Cespedes, Presiding Justice Gonzalo Martinez, Mr. Adam Hoffman, and Ms. Debbie Kuhn for their service to the judiciary and for their efforts on my behalf. Thank you to Janelle Baker, Charles Cahoon, and all the staff at the 2DCA, which made today possible, including Eva McClintock and the CHP. Also, I'd like to thank Tom Harboyan for his assistance. Thank you to my speakers for all of their kind words. Thank you to the Office of the Attorney General for their diligence and preparation for this hearing. Thank you to Ms. Melick and the Jenny Commission for their presentation and work expended on my behalf. Thank you to my Jenny commissioners, Mr. David Lieberman, I. Maury, and David Sutton for their hard work and professionalism. I do understand that Mr. Lieberman passed away not too long after our interview, and I extend my condolences to his family. I only met him once, but his warmth was palpable through our Zoom meeting. Thank you to the LACPA Judicial Appointments Committee. Thank you to Presiding Judge Samantha Jessner and Presiding Judge-elect Sergio Tapia, and to the Southern California Chinese Lawyers Association and the LA County Unity Bar for their letters of support. Chief Justice, I submit on the testimony before you, and I am happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you. I'll start with Presiding Justice Gilbert.
I've noticed you had quite an extensive education prior to law school. You were involved in Asian studies and studied abroad. And in fact, the Center for Asian Pacific Employment, I think that was in existence for many years, or a counterpart, because when I was a municipal court judge with Elwood Louie, Administrative Presiding Justice Louie, he loves the title. The stagecoach used to take us there. Remember, you introduced me to the, that's how long ago it was. And I became familiar with some of those activities, and it was really quite impressive then. So I've asked this to other people who have had studies, graduate studies prior to law school. To what extent do you feel that the studies you've had in Asian American studies and other studies you've had informs the way you decide cases as a jurist?
Thank you for that question, Justice Gilbert. I studied Asian American studies and, in general, American studies when I was in undergraduate, and I also received a specialization in race and ethnicity. And the reason why I undertook those studies is to was to answer the question, why are we all here? Why are we all here at this particular time and place? What brings us together as Americans? And what I found from those studies is that it helps to understand our diverse and unique experiences while also understanding our shared experiences and helping us find common ground. And so that is what I have endeavored to do on the trial court, is to understand the unique perspectives of all of the litigants that came before me, while also understanding where they could find common ground, and I would assist them in finding common ground if I were so requested. And so that is the reason why I studied what I did, and I think that that is very useful for all jurists. Thank you for your question.
Thank you for your answer.
Thank you. Attorney General Bonta?
Hi, thank you. Honored to be a part of this hearing, and I have a question that's similar, and it's regarding your initial plans after college, which did not include going to law school. You started a master's program at UCLA in Asian American Studies and then changed course while you were there. Can you talk about that decision? It seems a big one, obviously monumental for the great benefit of California and Californians and the role that you took in the legal profession. But can you share a little bit more about why you made that decision?
Thank you for that question, Attorney General Bonta. That was a big decision in my life. As you can imagine, being in my early 20s at that time, and at that time I had been in a master's program for 2 years, and then was thinking about undertaking law school, which would be another 3 years. And then I had decided that I needed to work before I did that to save a little bit of money. And so that was essentially a 5-year pivot in my early 20s, which can seem very daunting at that age. And yet I had taken some cross-referenced classes in the law school when I was at UCLA in the Asian American Studies program, cross-listed with the law school, and I was moved by that particular class that I took, and moved by all of the education that I had received in my American Studies program and the Asian American Studies program. And I had decided that I did need to make this pivot so that I could contribute to society in a way that I felt would be helpful, which was through the law. So thank you for that question.
I'm very glad you made that decision. Thank you.
Thank you.
Agreed. Thank you. Judge Kim, I wanted to focus on one of your responses in the questionnaire that you submitted. And for those who don't know, there's a question that asks about the attributes that you think are most important for a justice or a judge. And you gave an answer that I hadn't heard it described this way, so I wanted to give you an opportunity to further expand upon it. You noted that empathy is one of the key characteristics that you find important, and you explained that it helps you to stay centered and focused. And in addition, you describe it as follows: empathy frees me to make a just and fair decision in accordance with the law. And so I just was wondering if you could further, in your own words, explain why you find that quality in particular to be important and how you embody that quality.
Thank you for the question, Chief Justice. I do think that empathy is a very important trait for anyone to have, but especially a judge, where we are deciding cases and trying to resolve cases that involve sometimes people with very strong emotions. And I do think that empathy can be used to inform fair and just decision-making. Empathy ultimately leads to understanding, and when we understand better, we make better decisions. And so that is why I believe that empathy is very important for any jurist to have. Thank you.
Thank you. This does complete the list of witnesses who are here to testify. Are the members of the commission prepared to vote?
Yes?
Yes.
Thank you. All in favor of confirming Judge Michelle Kim for this position, please say aye.
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 On this record and the correspondence received, the commission finds Judge Michelle Kim qualified to be an Associate Justice of the Second District Court of Appeal, Division 1. We confirm her appointment. Congratulations, Justice Kim. Standing too. We were also standing,
Yeah.
applauding. That does complete the formal portion of the hearing, and that is now adjourned. However, you're all welcome to continue, and in a few moments, be here for the swearing in that she has asked me to administer. We're going to sign papers and be right out. Thank you. Welcome again, everybody. We have special guests joining us up here, maybe future judges or lawyers, too. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name,
I, Michelle Kim,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Please be seated. Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for coming today. I just have a few thank yous before we get on, and I know that there's another hearing actually very shortly, so I just have a few thank yous, and then we can move on with our day. Thank you to the Chief Justice Guerrero. Thank you. Thank you for everyone being here today. And let me say first thank you to my family. My husband of 17 years. Daniel is my biggest champion. And to my daughters, Eliza and Nora. They had asked me in the days preceding today's date if today was an important day. And I did say that it was an important day, but no, there are two more important days, and those are the days that they were born. Thank you to my mother and brother who have been with me since the beginning, to the rest of my extended family who are watching the proceedings online, to Anna, Sally, Vivian, and Christina. We are the original Get Along Gang. We have been around the world together, and I have enjoyed those times so much, so thank you for your friendship. Also, happy birthday, Christina. Today's her birthday. To Nancy, Ben, where are you? Okay, there you are. Nancy and Ben, Connor and Griffin. We have also had great times around the world. Thank you for your long-standing friendship. And not everyone could make it today, but due to the holidays, but I'd like to thank a few people nonetheless. To Janice Fukai, my former department head at the alternate public defender. She opened my eyes to the possibilities. Thank you to Erica, Jane, Karen, Brody, and Jordan for being part of such good memories at the alternate public defender's office. To Judges Guillemette, Espinoza, Armendariz, thank you for your friendship and camaraderie throughout our time at the LA Superior Court. To Judge White for being my East LA support. Thank you to Judges Crowley, Huang, Chang, and Hobbs for your friendship and camaraderie in the PI Hub and at Mosque. To Justices Zukin, Justice Louis, Judge Kwan, Judge Edgerton, Judge Jessner, thank you for your support and mentorship over these years. To Presiding Justice Lee Edmond for welcoming me as a pro tem to Division III. To Justices Hernaldo Baltadano, Cynthia Lee, and retired Justice Halim Donadina, thank you for all of your support. Thank you to Presiding Judge-elect Sergio Tapia, who has been with me every step of the way. He has been a true champion for me and so many others. To Judy, my law clerk, who I absolutely could not have done without while I was assigned to Spring Street and Mosque. Thank you. To all of my past and present judicial assistants and court reporters. Okay, we have Diana, David, Sammy, okay, and who else do we have here? Sam. Hi, Sam. And Juliet, Angela, thank you for making me look good. Thank you to Division I for welcoming me with open arms. There are so many more people who have helped along the way. Please forgive me if I have not mentioned you here, but thank you for coming. And please, if you can, join us at the restaurant after this ceremony. Thank you.